Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name's Jessica, if you didn't know, and I am going to start vlogging hopefully on a fairly regular basis. I've been saying that I was going to do this on my channel for a couple of years, and I don't know, I get an inspiration that I'm like, oh, well, I don't have my makeup on, or, something was going on, and I don't know, a lot of it was insecurity, but I decided that I wanted to do it because there's a lot of topics that I'd like to talk about that affect me in my life that I go through and my kids go through. And there's plenty of people out there that probably, experience the same things. So I really like to help people. And so that's the main thing that I want to do. But there's going to be a lot of stuff. I'm a huge music fanatic, so I'll probably be talking about music and maybe cooking, probably have funny videos of the kids. I mean, it's just gonna kind of be everything. And, maybe a little bit of my own, diary. I mean, I don't know, but I just decided I should just bite the bullet and start. So this is gonna be like my first kind of vlog, I guess. My name's Jessica. Like I said, I live in Arizona, in the Phoenix area. We moved here not quite 3 years ago from South Dakota, where we had lived our entire lives. I was born in Incirlik, Turkey, and when I was really young, we came back to the States and settled in Rapid City, South Dakota, and that's where I was for 42 years. And all of my kids were born there. They all, lived there. And we just decided after there were some rough years and some tough things going on, and my parents they live here in the Phoenix area, and they really wanted us to be closer to them. Especially I wanted the kids to be able to be around their grandparents, so we moved down here for like a new start, and I love it here. It's been a great thing for me. My daughter's, she'd prefer to be in Rapid City. My son's pretty cool about it. So some of the things I'll probably get into on here, some of the main things are, well, one big thing is mental health. I'm pretty transparent about the fact that I've been diagnosed with mental illness, and from a fairly young age. I My mom, for whatever reason, I started going to counseling. It started kind of around the time that my biological father and my mom got divorced. So I started going to therapy then. But there was always this thing where my mom just kind of thought that I was very dark or morbid, and I was always really into dark things, and I've always kind of been, I don't know, I guess emo, for lack of a better word. And some, not always in a bad way, some of it was in a good way, but yeah, I've always kind of been a little bit down and stuff like that. We did find out later in life that there was a big reason after I had my first son. When I was 19, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, and if you don't know, your thyroid is kind of your, main part of your endocrine system that, controls your metabolism, your hormones, all that stuff, and your chemicals. So a lot of times that's, people who have hypothyroidism do end up with depression. And it's fairly common. So that's been something I've struggled with, throughout the years when I was a teenager, and then the past few years, it's gotten a lot worse because I'm older. I'm, going to be 45 here in a couple months, and so it's been ongoing, and it's been really tough, and it got to a really, really dark place. I'd say probably starting about 6 years ago. I'll probably also be talking about parenting. I have two teenagers. I also have two older sons that are adults, and I also will be talking about loss of a child. My second oldest was born with severe cerebral palsy. He had microcephaly, and he lived for just close to 7 years. He died right before his 7th birthday. And so I really like to reach out or make connections with other grieving parents, especially if they're new in their grief, to kind of help them and, give an idea about how you just learn to live with it. So that's another thing I'll probably talk about. I also am a special needs mom. Like I said, my son that passed away, he had a lot of physical disabilities. My oldest son had ADHD and has some other mental issues. And then my youngest son, Devin, he actually is on the spectrum, the autism spectrum. He's what they considered, he has Asperger's with savant syndrome. You can't really tell. It's hard to tell. He's very verbal. He's on the high end, so he's not nonverbal. But the autism spectrum is so vast. Like you can't. No two people are alike, and so Devin just is higher functioning. The savant part comes in because he's kind of like this. Encyclopedia. I've always said he's my kid that knows everything about anything. So, and that's just how he is. He loves knowing stuff. I noticed that he was having some speech problems when he was about a year and a half, and so I got him in and got him evaluated. So he got into early intervention, and that was probably the key to him doing so well and us being able to, recover him somewhat. And by the time he was 6, he was off of his IEPs, and he hasn't been on one since. He does great. Both my kids that are still home with me do online schooling after we moved from South Dakota. And even before we left South Dakota, they really wanted to start doing online schooling. It was getting tough for them in the schools. And then when we got down here, they both tried public school, and it just online was better for them, and they do great. They get good grades and stuff like that. I've raised very quirky, kind of artistic kids. We're really big into music, and so we have music going around. All my kids are artists. I can't draw that great, but my kids are amazing at drawing and writing stories and things like that. And my mom is actually a writer. She's an author, and I wrote a lot when I was younger too. So I'm kind of trying to get back into that. So this is just kind of an introduction to, you know, let you know what this channel might be about. It is probably going to go everywhere, from, I'm not really dating right now. That's not my thing, but I am divorced, and so I can. But, from parenting and single parenting and struggling with finances and trying to, deal with ex-husbands, or ex-husband, I should say, and things like that. And, talking about friendship, and hopefully I can get my kids on here every once in a while. I'm kind of a reality TV fanatic and things like that, so I'm sure I'll talk about TV shows and rant and rave and stuff like that. But I just kind of wanted to, I guess, give an introduction and let you know, what's going to be going on here. And so I do ask, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell, so you can be notified. And I'll try to keep up a lot better than I have been. Even if nothing, I guess I just kind of think of this as like maybe my journal, and I really welcome, comments, give me ideas of what you want to talk about, if you have any questions, or, if I'm wrong about something, some sort of information or something like that, tell me, I'm cool with that and everything. As you can see, I'm pretty tattooed and stuff, so I'm pretty, laid back and easygoing. I'm not judgmental. So, hopefully you'll come back and I can kind of start getting a following going. I just really want to reach out, and this is kind of my way of, I guess therapy for me, because I'd like to be able to reach someone who maybe feels like I've felt with my mental illness, and especially with my PTSD, of feeling very isolated and alone. Um, Moving somewhere, which is one probably going to be a video that I'll do that's on its own, but moving somewhere at the age that I was at 42 to somewhere completely different from where I've ever known has been really hard. And as much as I love it here, I love being close to my parents, and I've met a couple of good friends. But I still don't know a lot of people, and it's still kind of weird because, I'm almost 45, and so it's weird to kind of try to meet friends or meet new people. So that'll probably be one of the first ones. Thanks for stopping by, and hope I'll see you again. And I may, once I am able to, I may start doing live streams so we can, do live chats and things like that. I do have other social medias. I'll get the hang of this and start putting like links and stuff in. But if you want to find me on Instagram, it's Jessie Marie Weave, JessieMarieWeev, and it's all together. And then I don't remember what my Twitter is. I don't do a whole lot of Twitter. I'm not great on social media. I'm trying to get a little bit better. So, anyway, I look forward to putting more vlogs and hearing from more people, and have a great time. Thanks. Bye.